Hello, everyone, and welcome to the World Class Stamp podcast. We're going to be giving people either the World Class Stamp or we're going to be returning to sender. So, first of all, we're going to be talking about the Manchester United winning side from 1999 and the current Man City side that won the treble. Which players would get into a combined 11 and which players would be world class. So, Matt, would you like to go first? We'll also just let the viewers know what is your definition of a world class player.
So, what a world class player is somebody who's etched on the memory. It's got iconic for football and reasons. It's got longevity, wins trophies, talent is a wow. It's got a superstar status. Could walk into any side of probably the era, or in some cases across history of football. So yeah, it's quite a high bracket, but I think there have been a few in these two squads we're going to talk about this evening. So yeah, is anyone with a wow factor? To be honest.
For you, then, Matt, who makes your first player for the team?
So I'll go through the Man United goalkeeper and back line first. Keeper would be Schmeichel, world class, probably the best keeper the Premier League has ever seen. Just absolutely got the talent, the stamp. He's there. Ederson the same. He's another world class goalkeeper. So I couldn't pick between. Well, I could pick between them. I think Schmeichel gets the nod, but they are both world class. Ederson and Schmeichel. That's pretty straightforward, I think, for those two treble-winning sides. Need a good keeper. Moving on to centre back could be Jaap Stam. He'd be first on the team sheet, really. Definitely world class. Formidable. Nobody ever got around him. He gets a stamp for me. Give him a stamp there. Second centre back would be from the Man City squad. That's Ruben Diaz, one of the best. Two in the world at centre back. Yeah, he walks into the side. He can walk into Real Madrid. He can walk into Barcelona today. He can walk into Bayern Munich. He could walk into any of the top sides, anything in the Premier League. World class stamp for Diaz. Thank you very much. That's the two keepers. So I'm going to go with two keepers and two defenders. I don't think over the two squads there was a world class left back or right back worth glossing over any positions that I don't think is worthy of the world class stamp over these two squads. So we've got
Matt,
yeah, no
there's
left. No right.
there's some obvious tactical plays against that team, I think.
Yeah, you still wouldn't score against those two, I don't think. So there we go.
Might get done for handball a lot, though, right? Only one person's allowed to handle it.
Yeah, I'm going with three across the mid. So one more than the defending back line. So I think there's three world-class players between those two squads. First being Kevin De Bruyne. The punditry through the roof for him. His stats are just phenomenal. I think he's assisted 16 and scored 9 goals across all competitions. But that's week in, week out, and he creates so many chances for the rest of the side. It's just they miss him when he's not there, to be honest. Along with Ryan Giggs, he gets the world-class stamp. I've seen him once. He's the most successful player in English history, or English league history, but his style of play, he changed his playing style from when he was young in his career to like an out-and-out winger. Jinking runs, fantastic on the ball, to more of a playmaker and goal scorer later on in his career. Just phenomenal, really. Giggs definitely gets the stamp. The third one is Paul Scholes. Paul Scholes, world class. Technically, I know he played in the golden era. Technically, midfield in that era, probably the best. Stringing passes together, vision, goals, he's got some volleys there you'll never forget. Scored a few for England, quite a few for England. And that was with a short international career because he called time on that a bit early. I think it was more to do with the politics of the game than rather than his personal ability, to be honest. So, there's my midfield three. I don't think there's any more over the two squads that are world class, especially, in the Man United squad. That's done and dusted. But there's obviously a few potential with the Man City boys there who are, on the cusp of being world class. Give it a season or two, they might get the world class stamp on this channel. And then the last player on the list is obviously Erling Haaland. He might go down as the best player in history at this rate. That's a big hurdle to climb, but definitely in the Premier League, I'm going to say after one season, he's probably eyeing up the total goals record already. So without a doubt, world class stamp.
You going with, what's that, 8? Yeah.
8 players across the pitch. Yeah, there's a good 8. No, yeah, no wingers at all, really. So we're going to have to play pretty much down the middle.
Steve, over to you.
Yeah. So I guess first of all, what classes as world class stamp for me is three things for me. It's consistency of performance, nothing under 7 out of 10, probably more often 8, even 9 out of 10 most games. Longevity, so doing it for game in, game out, month in, month out, season in, season out, year after year. And then the third thing is the ability to just take a game by the scruff of its neck, whether in attacking sense or in a defensive sense. So a top save from a keeper or a last ditch challenge from a defender to a absolute worldie of a pass from a midfielder to see a goal from a striker out of nothing, I suppose, in that way. So that's what players world class for me. In terms of my team changes, so I've got the same keeper, so I'll stick with Schmeichel. I'm keeping Yap Stam. I'm going to bring in a right back.
Yep. Who's going
I'm
to
gonna
be your right back?
So putting in Kyle Walker as my right back. I think all those three things I've mentioned, basically world class stamp for me. Longevity, even at Spurs in his early days, City now for almost a decade. I think it probably is. He's never, for me, had a bad game. Doesn't play as often as he used to, but he's bombing up and down that wing.
He's
I
32
don't think
now,
many
right?
play.
So, yeah, he's
Yeah,
had like over a decade in the game, right?
yeah, exactly. And I'm not sure anyone's or even quicker than him, to be honest. Certainly in that position, anyway.
This
And
season,
even the
he is the
position.
fastest player in the Premier League. So,
There we go. Yeah, could even go down as one of England's all-time right backs potentially. Certainly in that conversation. No doubt about it. So he's there for me. Next to Yap Stam, I'm taking out Ruben Diaz and I'm putting in his one of his colleagues, John Stones. I think John Stones has been very, very good this season. He's not quite getting the world class stamp for me yet, but I think he's got plenty of time to certainly convert me to getting that stamp in my hand. And I just like the way he plays. He's like a Rio Ferdinand type centre back. He's quite technical, quite graceful. I think next to the App Stam, they'd actually, if they ever did or could play together, would have made an absolute unstoppable pairing. Actually, to be fair. So yeah, John Stones is in for me, but not a world class stamp just yet. But yeah, I think he has the potential for sure. Left back, I'm not sure about this one. Yeah, I'm gonna leave the left back out. Obviously, Dennis Irwin is a name you can mention there. United longevity and consistency. But I think City have played a variety of people at left back. Akanji, Nathan Ake. Player for player, would probably say they're better than Dennis Irwin, but I'm not. I'm going to leave that one out. So into the midfield, keeping De Bruyne. He stays and he gets the world class stamp on me as well. No doubt about that. Absolute brilliant player. I'm then putting in, I'm keeping Ryan Giggs as well. And in my left midfield position, I'm bringing in Roy Keane. Probably to play more a defensive role for obvious reasons. Love the tackle, aggressive. And again, I think next to Kevin De Bruyne, Paul Scholes, he played against Paul Scholes, obviously, and they were a great partnership. And he gets a world class stamp from me as well. Absolute top draw player. The final position, I'm going for Bernardo Silva. He's different, I think, to United equivalents, which I think Kevin De Bruyne offers anyway. So the likes of David Beckham. I think Kevin De Bruyne can offer what Beckham offered and a little bit more actually in terms of his driving runs from the midfield. So yeah, Bernardo Silva from more technical tiki-taka type style of play. Nice short, sharp touches, and he doesn't get the world class stamp for me, but he is extremely close to that. I think certainly in the last 3, 4 seasons, he's been up there. The ink is definitely wet with him on the ink pad for that stamp. So a couple more seasons, if he remains at that level, he's getting that top world class stamp. And that's
So we got 9 players there, I think, guys. So was there anyone we missed out, or is it just the 9 you've gone for?
I will double check, but I think it might just be the 9.
Okay, well, I'm gonna build a side that'll beat both of yours. Pretty
You might
confident in
have
that.
11 players.
Well, I will have 11 players, so I'll pretty much keep a lot of this side, but there will be some changes. So the first change I'll make, which probably be a surprise for a lot of people, is the goalkeeper. So Peter Schmeichel, yes, he's a legend. Yes, he gets the world class stamp. But for me, Ederson has better range of passing, and he's the more modern goalkeeper. And I think if you put him in the United squad of 99, it would improve them. Taking nothing away from Peter Schmeichel, but Ederson, that kind of range of passing, starting off plays, he can assist as well. So I think he is the complete goalkeeper in my mind. The next one then, I agree with you, Matt. So I'm going to be taking John Stones out and putting Ruben Diaz in. I'll keep Jaap Stam and Kyle Walker. Ruben Diaz, he's got everything that you'd want in a centre back, leadership qualities, aggressive in the tackle, and can really kind of be that kind of rock in the centre of defence alongside someone similar to himself in Jaap Stam, another solid leader, captain. Kyle Walker, you could say, bring the same thing, and again, I agree with you, Steve, there, where he could potentially be the best England right back we've seen for a long time, at least in my memory. So yeah, so Kyle Walker keeps his place. But I disagree with you that there's no decent left back in the squad, because maybe your memories are failing you, because Dennis Irwin, absolute legend, and gets the world class stamp. Took the Republic of Ireland to the World Cup. Captain, penalty taker, reliable in all situations, solid player. Yes, he probably doesn't have the pace that they have nowadays, but in his earlier career he did have a bit of pace about him. But with the rest of the squad, I think he's more than capable to fit in that, and you could potentially kind of even rotate him into centre back and things like that. So he would definitely make my team for left back. Another maybe controversial one, so Roy Keane, obviously he stays in there, another captain, tackler, aggressive. He wins you battles kind of just in the tunnel. So he would keep his place for me. But alongside him, I'd put another player who's kind of mould as him, but kind of the modern day era is Rodri from Manchester City. So that might surprise a few, but he did come up with the winning goal in the Champions League final. He is also a captain in essence, drives from midfield, reliable, recycling possession, and Roy Keane alongside Rodri. I'd put them the other way around. Rodri being the left footer, Roy Keane on the right. Yeah, I think that's formidable midfield, especially that full box there of Stam, Diaz, Rodri and Keane. I don't think you're getting a lot stronger than that, and they will be able to kind of clearly break down a lot of attacks. So this kind of front 3 out of the 4 keeps their place. Ryan Giggs, Bruyne, and Erling Haaland. Like you say, Erling Haaland, over 50 goals in his debut season, unbelievable. Kevin De Bruyne, over 100 assists since he's been playing in the Premier League, and then Ryan Giggs, the most decorated footballer, with over 13 Premier League wins, as well as his 2 Champions League wins, going through multiple changes, and a stalwart of Sir Alex Ferguson's sides. But the person I would be rotating out of this side is Bernardo Silva, would be David Beckham. So for me, David Beckham goes in ahead of him. Set play king, got the most goals from free kicks in the Premier League. He's always in the Champions League final of 99. His deliveries helped turn the game round. Poke in from Solskjaer and Sheringham, so he was the one that kind of, his danger from set plays. Sides would be nervous conceding free kicks from outside the box. And yeah, captain of England, travelled Europe, won leagues in pretty much every single country he played in. So yeah, for me, David Beckham, definitely world class, and all of these players here in the list gets the world class stamp for me.
Dennis Irwin.
Yes, world class.
Dennis Irwin.
Yep, ask Roy Keane.
Nice man, apparently. Not world class. Not a world class player.
Hmm.
Won a lot. Decent player. Not a world class player.
Yeah.
Not good old Dennis.
Yeah, so just to
Sorry, Dennis.
clarify, my opinion of world class is they be able to walk into any team of their era. So yeah, I think Irwin does that. You know, he'd walk into the Arsenal side of his time. He'd walk into the Liverpool
Over
side.
Nigel Winterburn.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, he'd walk into any of the sides around Newcastle, Liverpool, any of those.
Barcelona, Real Madrid,
Real Madrid. Yeah, definitely.
Juventus, Inter, AC.
Well, maybe not AC. They got like Maldini, right? I think at the time. So, but yeah, he definitely walk into any Premier League side and a lot of the European sides as well. Captain, leader, legend, and you got to remember he's part of a very successful Republic of Ireland team, right? Went to 2 World Cups, I think it was. I think maybe underestimating him there, but he kind of does span the 80s, early 90s. Kind of late 90s, so he does have the longevity as well. But when you kind of comparing him to modern left backs, he's not that kind of flying left back, providing the width down the wings as you would imagine an Ashley Cole would later do. He's more of that solid, dependable left back, and being able to provide danger from set plays as well. So for me, he's world class.
He was pretty much Ian Hart, wasn't he, back in the day?
No, he's better than Ian Hart.
Set pieces, not. Did he have a lot of pace? I can't remember whether he was quick or not. But
for his time period, but not compared to today's players.
Yeah, it wasn't part of the game, was it, back then? I suppose he took penalties as well, didn't he?
No, your left back, right back didn't really start crossing, the centre circle.
Yeah.
Maybe when you had Gary Neville and stuff doing the overlap with David Beckham, wasn't quite the same on the left hand side of Irwin. But yeah I think definitely quality player.
One name actually I did forget to put in my team, and how could I? Absolute joke that I forgot this name. Paul Scholes was also in my midfield.
Too late. He doesn't make it.
Okay, we'll cover that off in another episode, I'm sure. But, yeah.
When's that? Famous players to chew on their daughter's toenails. Is that the one? All right then.
Shoved out to the left.
Definitely world class. Paul Scholes, 100%.
Not for me.
World class. Absolutely. Technically brilliant. World class. Memorable moments. I mean, Dennis doesn't get it.
He wasn't even the best in the league. I don't know how you can say he's the world class.
Nowhere near. He wasn't a world class player. He was a top player, Key. He could walk into any octagon, probably, but he can't walk into any team. So that's the difference.
He'd walk into any team, definitely.
I think he walk into
Liverpool's team.
Pub in the world.
So you're saying
he's not walking into any. He's not walking even in his own era. He can walk into any centre, any midfield. He can walk not with the likes of Zidane playing back there, Nedved.
You're talking about attacking midfielders, though, right? He's a defensive midfielder. So
yeah, but he still doesn't produce moments of world class moments on the ball for me. World class, yeah, he's a top player, tenacity, getting stuck in, captaincy. You could argue he was doing it for himself, maybe. He had a big ego and he's still going, but that's Roy Keane, isn't it? So, but I think
this sounds like a personal issue, to be honest.
No, as a footballer, he wasn't a world class. I think he's top player. There's a lot on that squad. Guy Neville, top player, not world class. Andy Cole, top player, not world class. David Beckham, for me, dead balls, absolutely amazing. Apart from his dead balls, he had no pace. He didn't as such, but he wasn't.
What about his range of passing?
He wasn't a world class player.
Spraying balls across the pitch.
On the cusp, and Keane was on the cusp, but he was not world class.
If we had a top class stamp, getting it.
Keane, not world class.
Violation, absolute violation. So, anyone else that you would challenge on that, Matt, for the world class stamp?
Yeah, I think you both give Carl Walker the world class stamp. I know he doesn't walk by any means. He's a good fast runner, but he's good without the football for me. But with the football, does he really do that much. I don't think he does. He's a bit of a square passer, pass and run. Doesn't do anything up this world, or I don't think he's ever won a game single-handedly. So I don't think he gets the world class stamp for me.
So how many right backs have won a game single handedly? Just curious.